The Newsday continues here on One News Now Business. I'm Diego Castro. Here are the biggest stories on the economic and corporate fronts. Some economists see inflation easing until the end of the year. HSBC ASEAN economist Aris Dakanay attributes the projected slower inflation to base effects and easing global prices. For this, he expects the Bangko Sentral to keep benchmark rates steady at 6.5%. Miguel Chanco of Pantheon Macroeconomics also expects inflation to fall within the government's 2 to 4% target band for 2023. Inflation slowed sharply to 4.9% in October, following 2 months of acceleration. The Bangko Sentral noted a slower increase in prices of key food items. Even national statistician Dennis Mapa expressed confidence that inflation would continue to ease, barring supply shocks. However, RCBC chief economist Mike Ricafort says the increased demand during the holiday season may pose upward price pressures.
Come the holiday season, the seasonal increase in demand would lead to some seasonal uptick in prices of Noche Buena items, especially those that are purchased by the typical family for the holiday celebrations, like the likes of meat products, and so on and so forth. But only to go down after the holiday season.
The Philippines' trade deficit has narrowed in September as imports declined at a faster pace than exports. Data from the PSA showed that the trade gap shrank by 27% year-on-year to $3.51 billion in September, from $4.83 billion deficit recorded in the same month of last year. It was also smaller than the revised $4.13 billion deficit in August. The value of exports declined 6.3% to $6.73 billion from $7.18 billion in the previous year. Meanwhile, imports amounted to $10.24 billion in September, showing a decrease from $12 billion the same time last year. September marked the 8th straight month of decline in imports. The country's balance of trade in goods has been in the red for over 8 years, or since the $64.9 million surplus in May of 2015. The Development Bank of the Philippines has requested the return of its 25 billion peso Maharlika Investment Fund contribution until the suspension of the laws implementing rules and regulation is lifted. DBP President and CEO Michael De Jesus told the business world that they wrote a formal letter asking for the return of the funds. He adds that it's only proper for them to do so, as they do not know how long the suspension is. Recall that back in October, President Bongbong Marcos suspended the law's IRR in order to improve its structure. The MIF will be using 50 billion pesos from Land Bank, as well as 25 billion pesos from DBP as seed capital. Both state lenders have already remitted the funds to the Treasury in September. On Monday, the President said the review of the IRR has been finalized, but no other details were provided. The DBP says they will remit the funds again once the suspension is lifted. But this time, DBP President and CEO Michael De Jesus wants the contribution to be gradual or an as-needed basis instead of immediately remitting the full 25 billion pesos. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. The Philippine Statistics Authority reports that 2.26 million Filipinos are jobless in September. That's equivalent to 4.5% of the population. This is slightly higher than the 4.4% rate or 2.21 million jobless Filipinos in August this year. The September 2023 unemployment rate, though, is lower than the 5% rate in the same period of last year. Meanwhile, the PSA reported that there are 5.11 million Filipinos underemployed in September 2023. Just a few weeks to go before December end, Filipinos are expected to be spending more in preparation for the holidays. Now, let's talk more about the situation on the ground with Stephen Kua, President of the Philippines Amalgamated Supermarkets Association. He's joining us live via Zoom. Sir, good morning. Thank you for joining us again.
Hi, good morning, Diego.
Yes, sir. Of course, on everyone's minds, kamusta na po ang presyo ng bilihin sa mga groceries ngayon? Since inflation is in October, nararamdaman na ba, sir, on the ground?
Hindi pa. Right now, actually, meron mga nag-abiso na magtataas ng presyo.
Okay.
Isa doon sardinas, okay? Isa doon sardinas, but isa lang. At isang brand lang yon, okay? The rest are non-essentials like toothbrush, what's this? Baby powder, baby oil. So, non-essentials, no? Mga nagtabiso. I guess manufacturers and both government and manufacturers are scratching their heads how to maintain prices.
Yes. So, non-essentials, sir. But do you expect prices to climb this holiday season? Lalo na po for products such as in-demand products for Christmas.
Well, mahirap sabihin, no? It's a matter of distribution and again, supply and demand, no? Pag biglang tumaas ang demand for items which supermarkets decided not to carry, no? Kasi, like example, queso de bola.
Okay.
Come on. No, we don't know how much to carry kasi number one, we have to pay it soon enough. Di pa nabenta, we have to pay it na. Okay? So we don't some stores don't carry pa this early, okay, these items. And number two, walang return. No?
Okay,
At DTI sabi, baka walang no return no exchange kami. Walang return kami sa suppliers namin. Kaya ingat na ingat kami. No? Upon orders ng, let's say, corporate orders na merong mamimigay para sa nilang mga tauhan, that's the time we order. No? Para hindi yung, hindi yung marami, sobrang maiiwanan when the season ends.
Okay, sir, kamusta naman po ang foot traffic sa mga grocery natin? Do you see any significant changes from the last few weeks?
Well, actually, year in, year out, these months, no, this period is what you call lean periods, okay? Right after Undas, dati Undas, may kastusan pa, ngayon wala. And then, tandaan nyo, kaka-election lang.
Yes, that's right.
Wala rin kastusan. Tapos, di umikot ang pera, no, during the last election. Not much. And, yun, lean months pa lang ngayon. So, food is always last. So, I guess around third week of December, pick up yan.
Okay. But sa assessment nyo, sir, tumaas ba? Do you think this last few months ang spending power ng mga Filipino?
Konti, pero hindi not felt that much. It's not felt that much, okay? People are also trying to find ways, no, to augment their income. So that come Christmas, they have money to spend, may purchasing power. No? Pero right now, hindi pa masyadong felt yung increase in demand.
Okay, sir, are there any manufacturers that are asking for a price hike at this point?
Meron. As we speak, there's a meeting right now of the technical working group for the National Price Coordinating Council. Too bad I couldn't attend it this morning, but they'll soon call another meeting for the National Price Coordinating Council wherein I have to join and find out kung anong usapan ng DTI with manufacturers, no? Kasi, we're speaking of shrinkflation, no? Items have become so small in terms of size and prices have become so high that there's nowhere else to go without losing market share. So manufacturers are very careful in adjusting prices.
So we expect after today's meeting, sir, that's today, no? We expect an update soon about these movements, if ever there will be movements.
I hope so. I hope they're trying to come up with some form of agreement, no? Wherein maybe a certain percentage of increase is allowed, no? For certain categories.
Okay. And sir, lastly, do you have tips for our viewers on this upcoming holiday season for Noche Buena items?
Well, you've got money on the side. It would be good to already start buying some of the items you'd like to use, no? In preparation for your Christmas celebration. Go to the sales section, look for good deals, no? Mga sulit. So, hindi pinakamurang sulit, no? Is sulit is what you get the most out of your money's worth, right?
That's right.
So, go and buy those items already. Sabi mo, hamon, unless isang buwan mong free freezer space ka, good for 1 month, di ba?
Yes.
Pero otherwise, buy the other items na medyo matagal-tagal ang buhay at, doesn't eat up space in your ref. Yun.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing that, and thank you for joining us once again. Stephen Kua, President of the Philippines Amalgamated Supermarkets Association. Good morning, sir.
Thank you for having me, Dick.
Here are the biggest corporate headlines we're watching this morning. Tycoons Manny V. Pangilinan and Ramon Ang are eyeing the creation of a powerhouse tollway company that can be listed on the Philippine Stock Exchange. If realized, the joint venture will pursue other toll road projects besides their joint 72 billion highway that connects Cavite to Batangas. PLDT reports a net income of 9.43 billion pesos in the third quarter. The telco giant's latest income showed a 12% decline from the same period last year amid a challenging economic environment. However, the company says its year-to-date profits climbed by 1.4% to 27.88 billion pesos as service revenues reach a historic high. Globe Telecom has secured a 12 billion peso loan to fund its capital expenditures. The company said it signed a term loan with BPI, China Bank, and Robinsons Bank. The loan will also be used to fund debt refinancing and general corporate requirements. And those are the top business stories of the hour. I'm Diego Castro. Join us again at 2 p.m. We are One News, all sides, all the time.